I'm Pastor Jake. I want to talk about being led by the Spirit. You know, God, we serve a spiritual God. So we can only serve Him in a spiritual form. We cannot serve Him with the flesh. You know, 18 says, but if you're led of the Spirit, you're not under the law. That means the flesh. Now, the works of the flesh are manifested. They are the adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, seduction, and heresies, envy, murder, drunkenness, reveling, and such like, of which I tell you before, and also tell you, like I told you in the past, that's what Paul's talking about here, that with such things will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. In other words, people who commit these things will not inherit the kingdom of heaven because they're serving the flesh and not the Spirit. But the fruits of the Spirit, he says here, is love, joy, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Again, there is no such law. In other words, we're not serving the flesh, we're serving God. We're serving the Spirit. That is the fruit of the Spirit, is doing these things in joy and peace and love. And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the afflictions of lust. And if we live in the Spirit, let us walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous or vainglory. In other words, don't puff ourselves up because we think we're better than anybody. What we need to do is walk humbly and meek in this world and just love each other. Not provoke one another, not envy one another, like the last verse 26 says, but to come with God with a pure heart, not hating anybody, not enjoying in murder, not enjoying in hatred or witchcraft or any of this stuff, because that's the flesh. We need to serve the Spirit. It says you cannot serve God without faith. You cannot please Him. Well, it says faith is one of the fruits of the Spirit. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. So we need to get into the Word, get into joy and peace and love. Start showing them, like Jesus said, you'll know they are my disciples by their love.